Stop the presses. Breanna Stewart just torched A'ja Wilson's legacy in front of the entire basketball world, and the fallout is so savage the league can't stuff the flames back in the locker room. You're not hallucinating. Late last night, Stewart hopped on an impromptu Instagram Live and, with 47,000 fans watching in real time, called the two-time MVP A'ja Wilson straight up overrated. Within seconds, clips blanketed X, TikTok, and every sports blog from Spokane to Sydney. Fans woke up furious, analysts scrambled for takes, and even the WNBA's official account posted a cryptic eyeball emoji. The comment section? A war zone. Liberty diehards screamed receipts, while Aces Nation fired back with flaming ace emojis and threats of a boycott. So how did we even get here? The rivalry simmered for years, but tensions really bubbled after New York crash-landed on the final stage last October and yanked the 2024 championship banner out of Las Vegas's grasp. Stewart hoisted Finals MVP and flashed that grin that says, "I told you I was built for big moments." Meanwhile, Wilson's Aces trudged off the court and into an off-season of uncomfortable questions. Fast forward to this summer, the Liberty ignite a blistering 14-2 start, while the Aces wobble through injuries and double-digit defeats. Every podcast in America labeled Wilson's squad complacent, and Stewart, never shy, hinted at paper crowns during a post-game presser. When Stewart finally snapped, she didn't mince words. "Numbers don't lie," she said, tapping her phone screen like a coach pointing at film. "Check my rings, my finals lines, my efficiency. Y'all hype is cute, but hype ain't hardware." The live lasted 8 electrifying minutes before her agent yanked the Wi-Fi, but the damage was irreversible. Within half an hour, You're Overrated started trending at number 1 in the US, then the world. Stewart's teammates Sabrina Ionescu and Jonquel Jones both dropped a single popcorn emoji, basically inviting everyone to pull up a seat. Let's rewind the stat tape because Stewart's mouth is writing checks well backed by cold data. Since entering the league, she's averaged 21 a night on 50/38/87 splits, captured 4 championships, 2018 and 2020 with Seattle, 2024 with New York, plus a 2023 Commissioner's Cup that still haunts Vegas highlight reels, and claimed 2 regular season MVPs and a Finals MVP. Her 2024 playoff true shooting percentage, a blistering .672, best among players taking at least 15 shots a game. Wilson, for all her undeniable glow, owns 2 rings from 2022 and 2023, but her finals line last year, a tepid 15-8 on 41% shooting, punctuated by a fourth-quarter airball 3 that lives rent-free in Liberty meme culture. Now, the backlash hits Wilson like a full-court press. Overnight, YouTubers stitched together every clip of her post-game podium cooldowns, counting the "we'll be fine" quotes that aged like milk. ESPN panelists grabbed coffee at 4 a.m. for an emergency roundtable. One analyst compared Wilson's stat padding to empty calories, sweet but zero championship nutrition. Even The Ringer dropped a think piece titled, "Is A'ja Wilson just a regular season mirage?" The narrative shifted from 2 titans trading blows to one queen clutching receipts while the other king pinches excuses. But don't think for a second Wilson shrank. Around 10 a.m. Pacific, she fired up X and posted a single line. "Talk is cheap until it's ball in." 10 million impressions in an hour. She followed with a screenshot of her trophy shelf, 2 MVP plaques, Defensive Player of the Year hardware, and a gleaming Olympic gold. The caption, "Since y'all love pictures." Her fan base, the self-dubbed number ace hive, mobilized, spamming threads with her 53-point clinic versus Minnesota last season and that viral block on Caitlin Clark that practically froze time. Behind the scenes, league executives panicked. The WNBA loves drama but hates public mudslides that stain sponsors. A confidential memo, later leaked to The Athletic, urged both camps to de-escalate tone ahead of next Sunday's ABC primetime clash. Instead of cooling, the memo poured kerosene. "Why hush us now?" Stewart tweeted. "We grew this league on fire." Wilson quote-tweeted with a shrug gif and the words, "Let the ratings cook." And oh, those ratings are about to simmer. Ticket resale prices for Liberty Aces in Brooklyn skyrocketed 600% overnight, nosebleeds jumping from $70 to $400. Secondary markets list courtside seats at Super Bowl prices, while brokers rub greedy hands. ESPN already moved the pregame show to an outside set at Barclays, promising drone cams and a halftime mic-up featuring both coaches, if they agree. But here's the twist that just detonated mid-video. Sources inside the Liberty. Locker Room leaked a private group chat screenshot showing Wilson allegedly asking veteran Candace Parker last postseason, "Is Stewie on something? Nobody's that hot all playoffs without a lil boost." The screenshot, unverified but juicy, shows Parker responding, "Girl, test her then." Once that image hit social, conspiracy theories sprouted like weeds. Stewart's camp called it deepfake trash, but the internet rarely waits for verification when drama tastes this good. Wilson's inadvertent shade now looks premeditated, and fans connect dots. Was last night's overrated rant really payback for that whispered accusation? Stewart's supporters say yes, painting her as a truth-speaking victim finally tired of slander. Wilson's defenders howl that the leak is fake and note Stewart's timing conveniently shifts the heat from Liberty's recent two-game skid. Welcome to modern basketball beef? Stats in the daylight, sneaky screenshots in the shadows. Even rival players can't help themselves. Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark tweeted a popcorn gif plus eye emoji. Angel Reese live-streamed a reaction where she joked, "At least it ain't me for once." NBA stars chimed in too. Damian Lillard called it WNBA's Dre KD moment, while Giannis simply tweeted, "I love chaos." Retweets everywhere. By late afternoon, the sponsors pull pivot moves. Gatorade hypes a limited Spill the Tea flavor with Liberty Green bottles. Beats by Dre offers custom headphones for whoever drops a 40-piece in Sunday's matchup. Fanatics rush Prince overrated, prove it, tees in Liberty fonts, and they sell out in 5 hours. Meanwhile, the union quietly advises players to focus on hoop, code for quit feeding the content monster, advice everyone promptly ignores. Training camp scouts whisper that Wilson has circled July 29th at Michelob Ultra Arena, the return game in Vegas, as her personal finals. Insiders claim she installed a private weight rack in her hotel room, Kobe style. Stewart, never outworked, booked 2 extra late-night shooting blocks at Barclays, refusing media but reportedly hitting north of 88% from NBA range during closed sessions. Sources say she keeps a printed screenshot of Wilson's trophy flex taped to her locker as motivation. So where does this supercharged feud leave the rest of the league? Coaches of playoff hopefuls like Minnesota and Connecticut quietly relish the distraction, hoping the Giants rip chunks out of one another. Rookie voters, mesmerized by the social circus, debate MVP parity. Should intangibles like mental dominance weigh heavier than raw PER? Twitter spaces run overnight arguing metrics. One caller insists Stewart's win shares plus clutch defensive rating crown her undisputed queen. Another screams that Wilson's defensive versatility makes her the game's true cheat code. And let's talk dollars, because drama always follows the money. Marketing insiders leaked that a sneaker brand courting Wilson for a signature line pressed pause until sentiment stabilizes. The same source claims Stewart's merch sales on Fanatics spiked 340% in 48 hours, an unheard of jolt outside championship week. Social Blade data projects Stewart to gain 120,000 new Instagram followers by next Monday, eclipsing Wilson's entire 2023 growth in a single weekend. Agents are scrambling. One told CNBC, "This might be the first time a shade war directly impacts Q4 revenue projections." In other words, even the suits are sweating. Even casual viewers feel the gravitational pull. Spotify basketball podcasts clock record downloads as hosts dissect micro gestures. Did Wilson roll her eyes when Stewart mentioned hardware in that live? Did Stewart smirk during Wilson's 40-minute media scrum? Reddit detectives catalog freeze frames, reading lips like CIA analysts. Meanwhile, TikTok creators push split-screen analysis, overlaying each star's highlight reel with sarcastic voiceovers. Overrated? Let's check the film, sis. The For You page has never spun this fast. Away from screens, league veterans worry the feud overshadows collective goals like pay equity and charter flights. Candace Parker appeared on NBA Today, reminding audiences, "We can chew gum and spill tea, just don't forget the bigger picture." Stewart responded in a late-night tweet, "Securing bags for every player is part of why I fight this loud." Wilson quote tweeted with a simple, "Facts," suggesting even amid personal beef, they stand united on systemic issues. An oddly wholesome footnote in a week of roasting. Practice floor whispers say Liberty coach Sandy Brondello installed a brand new defensive scheme nicknamed Fury Switch, designed exclusively to hound Wilson with constant double teams flashing from the baseline to force predictable kickouts. Conversely, Ace's bench footage reveals Coach Becky Hammon drilling Wilson in elbow isolations, telling her, "Let them overhelp. Make 'em pay with skip threes. It's chess layered over trash talk, layered over corporate strategy, all televised in crisp 4K. On the broadcast side, ABC greenlit an alternate rivalry cam where viewers can lock onto either Stewart or Wilson the entire game, complete with heart rate telemetry and shot chart pop-ups. Advertisers fought for those slots at NFL-level CPMs, a historic first for the league. The numbers prove the feud has transcended gendered sports coverage, morphing into mainstream entertainment. Think McGregor-Mayweather, but with backdoor cuts and transition threes. So much weight now rests on individual performance that analysts predict a permanent narrative swing. If Stewart outduels Wilson decisively, she plants a flag as the defining player of her era, the bird to Wilson's Lisa Leslie. But if Wilson drops a 30-15 masterpiece in a win, she rewrites the story in one night, flipping overrated into the roast that forged an all-time great. The stakes are seismic, and every player in both locker rooms feels the tremor. Sunday's national broadcast promises record eyeballs, but league historians remind us this rivalry isn't new. It's merely reached boiling. They faced off in U19 FIBA finals, NCAA tournaments, Olympics, All-Star games, and 4 straight playoff meetings. Every stage intensified the chemistry, respect mixed with combustible pride. Stewart's camp claims she bit her tongue through Wilson's MVP speeches in 2022 and 2023. Wilson's circle says she's tired of being labeled second fiddle to a player with a blue blood college stamp. As tip-off inches closer, reporters note subtle mind games. The Liberty playlist at practice blasts Rihanna's Take a Bow chorus line, "Don't tell me you're sorry." Fans decode as pointed at Wilson. Aces respond posting locker room selfies wearing tees that read, "Underrated and unbothered." Stewart arrives to media availability in a vintage 1996 Houston Comets jersey, 4-peat energy, while Wilson addresses reporters wearing sunglasses indoors, channeling big villain vibes. Every accessory, lyric, and emoji is now a smoke signal in this information war. Then, in one final pregame curveball, Stewart's agent releases a statement confirming she'll donate $25,000 to the WNBA Player Emergency Fund for every national pundit who calls me overrated on air this week. That philanthropic flex spins headlines. Generosity or shade. Wilson responds with a retweet and 3 yawning emojis. Commentators split. Is Stewart buying goodwill or doubling down on petty? Whatever side you pick, Sunday is appointment television. 2 apex predators entering the same paint with receipts to settle, legacies to cement, and a global audience salivating. League officials pray for highlight dunks, clean fouls, and 0 melees. But both stars heard the chatter, scrolled the memes, and tasted the extra salty popcorn. Pride's on the line, endorsements hover, and history keeps score in bold ink. Aja Wilson thought she'd silence Breanna Stewart, but ended up destroying her own legacy instead.